accepting the fact that people you love are still going to hurt you, even if they love you. And you got to let go and move on. People do things out of anger, emotions, and their own problems, and they can still love you, but even if they do it, it can still really hurt you. And even if you do love them, you still need to give space for your own well-being and for it to not happen again.
I had a not so great partner in high school, and I'm still young, but I was even more naive and more innocent, and I didn't understand what I was getting myself into. When we separated, things went really, really bad, physical harm bad, and he went around and basically ruined my entire reputation. He even convinced teachers to not like me. So I think having to go through 2 more years of high school with that scar on my name and getting through people not understanding what actually happened was hard. Probably the hardest thing I've done. Yeah.
Alcoholism. Sober for 25 years. I think that's a big challenge. I just stopped. I wanted it, and I decided now it's time. Since then, everything went well. And I didn't come back or didn't fall back to the old habits. It's not a problem. I'm proud of it. Really proud. I'm like a snail in a house. I went back, just my room and nothing else. No way out, no social contacts like that. That was most of my life for nearly 10 years. And I did my exams in that time, and I made my all you need for being a successful person, but the success came later because at that moment there was nothing to do like drinking.
Coming out of a cardiac arrest, I was gone 2.5 minutes, and it's not death because you're still alive, and I was resuscitated, but it took me a long time to recover and to find out that I had a strange heart condition. This was back in 2008, and I was disabled with conditions of the heart from 2005 to 2008, and then I still live with it, but I've managed it. I've always been a helpful person, so I know that's gone out. I made a TV show about it on PBS. It's called Second Opinion. That program has gone around the world, so people have contacted me from all around the world, so I've been able to help them.
I guess right now, my health, the way I have, what all I've gone through the past 10 months and everything. Like I said, I understand I was in a couple of hospitals. I have no idea for 4 months what was going on in this world. And then when I woke up, I reduced weight-wise from 295 down to 142. I'm back up to about 230 now, but I'm staying right around there. But I guess that's probably was one of the biggest ones I've had so far. Blacked out, I guess, so to speak, because I had no idea what was going on anywhere. Because when I woke up, I was in a rehab and didn't know I was there. It was definitely different because I looked around like, where am I and what am I doing here, so.
I'm just finishing cancer treatments. I have my last one coming up this month, so I'm in the tail end of that. So I would say I overcame it, but I would say the Lord got me through that for sure. It was an obstacle. I would say most of it has to do with my understanding of a good God and how suffering fits into that, and that suffering can be redemptive sometimes. Lots to unpack there. I'm hoping to keep unpacking it, as I look back on it. So I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I didn't choose it, but I'm not sorry that it happened, and I'm grateful for the things I'm learning in the process.
When I was 18, thought I knew everything, got kicked out of my parents' house, and then moved back in when I was either 19 or 20. Relationship with my father after that was still kind of rocky. And then I started going to Liberty University, and then ever since then, my dad's and I's relationship has been a lot better, and I have a better appreciation of things for the things that he's done and the reason why he did things. My brother's going down the same road and trying to get him to not make the same mistakes as I did, which is a little difficult because he's 19. He's a boy, doesn't want to listen to his older sister, but I try to do what I can. Especially younger brother that is 6'4" with his older sister that is only 5'3". So
probably like mental health struggles and things like that. I have anxiety and depression, and I've dealt with self-harm in the past, and so it's been like a big challenge of going like back and forth within myself to like have the strength to make a decision whether I'm going to do something or not, and just kind of having everything in my hands. Therapy, a lot of support from my friends, healthy coping mechanisms, and just like actually prioritizing myself and self-care and valuing myself and only getting like affirmations from the Lord and myself.
The biggest challenge we have overcome, that's an easy one. My wife had breast cancer, she survived that, and in 2001 we both were in the year after, we were involved in a big head-on car collision. She was only 5% alive, and she survived that as well. So the doctors call her the miracle lady. I think that's pretty impressive.
First cancer, yes, which was a big hassle. But then the car accident took me about 10 years to recover from all the surgeries that I had to have because it was too much, and they had to do it 1 year after the other. So, yeah, a big hassle. But hey, I made it. I'm still here. We try to enjoy life as much as we can. And actually, we are from Belgium, living in the States now the second time 5 years. And in these 10 years US, we were able to visit all 50 states. Going through all the things that we went through just made us realize that we have to take one day as it comes and try to enjoy life as much as possible. Whenever you have the opportunity, just go out and do stuff.
And that
do
is
the
the
things
reason
that you want to do.
Why the motto of our life is Carpe Diem, seize the day.
Yeah.
Every day. That's the motto.
Sliding 200 yards down a road, motorcycle. It was more or less not really that day. It was the months afterwards, the recovery part of it. I tell people, they ask me like, how was your life? And I say, have you ever looked at the map of a racetrack? It goes up, down, left, right. It's all curvy, and there's like one straightaway. And the reason I say that is because it's like with my wreck. It's like I made another right turn, and I have no clue what was in front of me. All of a sudden, everything that I'd planned on was just snuffed. It was a lot to overcome, and I wouldn't be standing at the top of this mountain if it wasn't for it. A lot of good things came from it, and a lot of bad things came from it. Well, the good things were it really like opened my eyes up as to life is short and it can be snuffed out in just a minute. And a lot of people think, I've come this far, I can't lose it now. Yes, yes you can. You'll be a mile away from home, and the next thing you know, all of it's gone. Like I really fell in love with like working on vehicles and stuff. I'd always had kind of a knack for making motors crank, and I think that's just me being Southern. It's just in our blood. But I really got a love for it, and now I wake up every morning. And I work over at Woods, so I wake up every morning. I get under a car, and it's just me. I'm in my zone. I really learned to love that because I couldn't ride anymore. I didn't have a mode of transportation, and I just had to really find something where it was just me. With my leg being broken half, so I couldn't do much, so just sitting in my wheelchair, leaning over, fixing a radiator or something, I just kind of found myself in that. And now I'm, making very decent money that I'm proud of, doing work that I love, and that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't wrecked, I'd be off doing something else probably.
My biggest challenge that I've overcame was getting the guts. I used to live in Nebraska and having to swallow my pride and say that I needed help. And I moved to Florida to live with my parents again, which was pretty tough, but it's where I met my girlfriend Erin here, and now we're getting ready to move here to Roanoke. So I think it all worked out.
I was actually bit by a dog 2 years ago, almost exactly, just a little over. Had to have surgery, got really sick, lost 60 pounds in the span of 6 months. Have been sick since, and recently found out that I was diagnosed with POTS, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's a syndrome where when I stand and sit from a sitting or a laying position, my heart rate spikes, and my blood pressure can either go really low or really high, and it can make me dizzy or lightheaded or nauseous and make me pass out. So that's my current situation that I'm currently overcoming. Yes, it was actually a black lab.